Please be aware the call to this number may be recorded and or monitored for whatever purposes we deem necessary. Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, is it possible that I speak to Ralph Jefferson, please?
Who's calling?
My name's Daniel from Consumer Exchange.
Hold the line there. One moment there, Daniel. I'm just chasing someone away at the door trying to tell me something. 1 second.
Okay.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi there. Ralph?
You can address me as Wing Commander. Wing Commander Ralph Jefferson. What's this call regarding, and what's your title?
My name's Daniel from Consumer Exchange.
Consumer Exchange, okay.
Yeah, just to make you aware, calls may be recorded for training purposes. The reason why
Wonderful, yes, they will be.
The reason why we're phoning today is we understand that you may have been involved in a minor incident in the last 2.5 years. Is that correct, sir?
Right, how do you know about that?
We get our information from various data suppliers, including insurance aggregators, online insurance brokers, so that's where the information comes from.
Right, interesting. You gathered data, okay. Yes, go on.
Is that correct?
There was a slight incident, yes?
There was, okay. Did that incident go as the other person's fault, Ralph?
There wasn't another person involved other than the council, but they don't seem to be interested in doing anything about it.
Okay. Was that a council incident, was it?
It was, what happened was there was a tree which had been reported many times it was in a terrible state, and the tree actually collapsed onto me, and I was very lucky. The only injury I got were to my testicles at the time. So, there was quite a bit of hospital treatment from that.
Yeah.
I'm still in pain with that now.
Yeah.
But the tree is still, the other trees in the area are in a terrible way, and there's a huge hole where the tree used to be. It's terrible. I know of at least one elderly gentleman who, he had an accident with the actual hole after the damn tree had landed on me.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, there's been nothing. I've been onto the local newspapers and everything. I mean, I took photographs at the time. My testicles, when I went to the visit, I taken to the hospital, obviously. And the testicles were the size of like watermelons. It was absolutely terrible, and they're still swollen now. I can't wear. I used to wear jeans and things on my days off. I can't do that now. I have to wear baggy trousers because obviously it's very tight around that area. It was tight anyway, but they're very tight now.
Yeah. And have you not heard any correspondence from the council at all?
I've had nothing from the council, and the local newspapers don't seem to be interested, but the local newspapers are all socialist comics anyway, so they're not too bothered. Just let the council get away with it and just continue.
No, that's what I mean, and it's still like that for people to obviously then...
Well, as I say, it was my grandfather, in fact, who then had a problem with the hole over there. He fell down the hole. I mean, luckily he wasn't injured, but he did end up, quite a bit of dirt was in his mouth and stuff like that. But luckily he wasn't, no major injury, just a few worms and stuff.
But it's not the point, though. Really, it should all be sorted.
It should be sorted.
How long ago was it, Ralph?
When I had my problem, probably going back, it was around about this time last year, actually.
Last year, and it's still there at the moment as well.
Yes, the hole is still there. I mean, the tree, I think someone took away the tree and used it for firewood or something. But
you'd think they would
so
the hole, though, wouldn't you?
The hole is still there. The hole is still there.
That's what I mean. And how's yourself? Is it still obviously sore and everything?
It's still very swollen. I have to, on an evening, I have to bathe my testicles in a bowl of warm salty water, and that's about all that seems to help with that. Otherwise, I don't get any sleep. I mean, I can't sleep on my side or my back anymore because of the swelling. I can't sleep on my front, rather. I have to sleep on my back. There's two women I used to visit regularly that I've had to give them up. So, I mean, they've had to go elsewhere for their requirements. It's just really, it's affected my whole bloody lifestyle, and yet, no one seems to be bothered. No one seems to be bothered.
Going to hospital or?
I was only at hospital for the day. They checked it out, and I had to go back several times, and we had to get some physiotherapy. I had exercises I had to do. That went on for some time, but to be honest, it wasn't really helping, and they're still very large. I mean, they're not as large as they were. I think
obviously they're going down slowly, but obviously too slow at the moment.
The radius of my testicles immediately after, when they measured them in the hospital, was 22 inches each. Wow. So if you can imagine that.
Yeah, no.
They were, it was a rather bad, rather bad.
No, of course. Obviously, with a tree as well falling on.
I was just lucky where the tree. Well, I wasn't lucky, I guess, but you know, could have caused
could have
more.
Been a lot worse. Exactly,
it could have been a lot worse. Yes, I class myself as lucky. You know.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah, it's just a shame how the council are not actually doing anything about that.
It's a Labour council, so they're not really bothered.
That's what I mean. Like we used to deal with council, but it's just literally so hard. Because normally when you do tend to report it, what they do is go out straight away and fill it up, so it looks like nothing ever happened.
Oh, they didn't even do that. I mean, it took at least three weeks before the tree was removed, and I have it on good authority that it was some local people who took the tree away themselves to use for firewood over the winter. So you know, but the hole is still there to this moment. I mean,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't walk that way anymore. Obviously, I'm quite frightened to walk by the other trees because they're all quite bad. But I do have it from my grandfather, who does take walks with. He has a young girlfriend, and they take walks, and the hole is still down there.
That's what I mean. Sure. That should be covered to stop preventing any other, people falling down.
Well, I dread to think. I dread to think we had. It was a friend of my grandfather's at the club, and apparently his grandson had fallen down there, and he was down there for 2 days. You know, it took some time. When I say grandson, you think of a young chap. He's not. His grandson's about 40 or 50 years old. It just shows you that things are still happening even now, and nothing happens about it.
That's what I mean, and the council don't seem to be bothered to fill it in.
Yes. So, do you want to contact the council, and can you get them to fill in the hole?
We won't be able to do that. We used to deal with the council, but because they're so hard to actually correspond with.
That's a bit like my testicles, and they're hard to correspond with at the moment. It's bloody agony, I tell you. Yes.
They must be, I understand that. But I do apologise. I hope everything obviously does get better with yourself, sir. What I will do is I will remove it off our system so we don't have to keep contacting you over and over again, okay, sir?
Right, is that because you guys don't care, or...?
No, we do care, sir. It's just that we actually don't deal with council situations anymore, sir.
Okay, even with something as serious with my testicles?
No, I understand where you're coming from. I do have...
I mean, it's no laughing matter. It's very...
No, I understand that.
It's quite serious.
I understand that, sir, because if it was myself in your situation, obviously...
Well, just imagine yourself with 22-inch radius testicles. I mean, it's quite, it's quite difficult, but...
Yeah, no, I understand that. No, it's not that we don't care, so obviously we'd love to be able to help you out and try and help you.
One second, I was grabbing a towel here. I'm just removing... they take some drying. I'm just moving away from the bowl here.
Oh.
Okay. Right. Okay, I suppose I'll let you get on with your day, and I'll dry these off properly.
Yeah, no worries, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
Take care. Bye-bye.